Libra, welcome to your general reading. I hope you've been well. I had exams, so I was not able to upload last week, but I am glad to be back this week and happy to be able to give you this message so we can go through some of these lessons together. For those who don't know, I am a Libra moon. So this is for all Libra placements, most notably Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node. If you're a cross watcher, you're welcome here as well. We are going to take a different approach today. I have this nifty little mat that I got from my local metaphysics shop, and it basically will help us kind of explore things in a more concentrated fashion to see if we can get some more distilled lessons out of this. You know, I'm all about distilling the lessons. So with that being said, let's get started. Spirit, I thank you for the opportunity to read for the Libra Collective and ask for clear and concise messages as well as protection for myself, the message, and the viewer as we perform this active divination together. Thank you. Ashe. Amin. All right, so let's get into it. I was saying in another reading that I was doing that the weather has been kind of weird, but it has allowed me some time to reflect since I've been indoors. I've also been a little bit ill. Little coughy, a little sneezy. So now I'm finally back to normal. I don't know, it's just been a really nice time of reflection, and I guess I can find some silver lining in that. All right, let's get into it. What is the action for this week? And the action could be an action that you are taking, Libra. It can be an action that someone else is taking towards you. So take it as it resonates. I'm gonna take the card that has showed its face. Thank you. And we have the Moon. So, if I can pick the card up, we have the Moon. I really love the imagery on these cards. This is the Tarot Nefertari deck, and it is like my favorite deck. So we have the Moon here. There is an awakening that you are going through. There is a realization that you're going through. There is an uncovering. There is an eye-opening. There is a realization. You are starting to understand whatever it is that seemed a little bit mystical to you before. And it honestly could shift the entire paradigm of how you see the world and how you interact with the world, which is not a bad thing at all. However, I'm also kind of getting that you might have been a little hard on yourself for not being able to see this before. And I want to clarify to you before we move ahead that you see things and understand things when you are supposed to see and understand them. Your journey is divinely orchestrated, even when it does not seem like it. And for a lot of the time, for a lot of us, it does not seem like it. It seems wildly random and wildly confusing, and that is very understandable. And it's valid to feel like that. But my point is, you were meant for this veil to lift from your eyes. This was meant to happen now. No earlier, no later. Now. Okay? So don't feel guilty about not having seen something before, not understanding something before. You understand now. So whether it's your dynamic with a person, a situation, an institution, a plan that you've had, doesn't really matter. Either way, you finally are... There's a sense of understanding, and it's deliberate. You want to understand. Your eyes are open to understanding. It is deliberate. The other two cards that fell out for reaction is the Chariot and the Sun. So with the Chariot, Cancerian energy, you can have Cancer in your chart or be dealing with one. And then you have the Sun, which is like the happiest card in the deck, right? So the reaction here is that things start moving in a direction that is predictable to you, but is also palatable to you, right? Because a lot of times, like, we can see patterns and find predictability in certain situations, but the predictability isn't palatable. Just because something is predictable doesn't mean it's predictable in a way that we would like to be able to predict. Do you see what I'm saying? Sometimes things are predictable, but it's like, I wish I was not able to predict this because this is a painful thing. Like, it's not that. Like, you're seeing that things are aligning and you're able to start to see things line up and manifest and come about in a way that actually make sense. You're starting to see that, oh snap, like now that I have kind of checked my perception, you might be realizing that somebody that you're dealing with ain't shit, just to be honest. You might be realizing that it's time for you to move on and go do something else, or you be with someone else, or whatever it is. I'll be doing a career and finance reading as well as a love reading, so we'll get deeper into like what this is specifically in those videos. But generally speaking, a veil has been lifted from your eyes. You are seeing things anew. Not necessarily like the Hangman where you have a new perspective, but it's literally that something that was very mystifying to you and just very mysterious is now crystal clear. There's no question about what it is that you are looking at. You have complete clarity. Laser focused, like 20/20 vision clarity. Because of this clarity, you have freed yourself from the shackles of the mind of regarding confusion, right? That confusion and that lack of understanding was leading you to beat yourself up. It was leading you to doubt yourself, doubt your confidence. Now that you see things crystal clear, you realize potentially this wasn't even me. This was something that had to happen for my progression. This is something that had to happen in order for me to have something better, do something better, be something better, right? So now you realize this. Now you're able to rest in this contentment. A contentment that, honestly, you have not really felt for a while. I was saying something very similar for Taurus. So if you're like me and you have Taurus and Libra in your chart, I'm a Taurus Sun, Libra Moon, check out the Taurus video. There might be some insight, or if you just resonate heavily with the Taurian energy, that video might also offer you some insight. But you're finally able to take charge of your reality. You are able to see the patterns in front of you. You're able to predict what is about to come toward you, and it's very, very pleasurable. Like you're finally in this energy of pleasure and desire and happiness and contentment. You're in this very strong Venusian energy, which makes sense as a Libra. Taurus and Libra are both ruled by Venus. You're finally able to, very similarly for Taurus, unclench. You're finally able to unclench. You can see things crystal clear. You're not messing around. Now things make sense. You know where you're going, and you know what's coming to you, and you like what you see. All right, what is the outcome? Damn. The outcome is the Queen of Swords, right? Can't make this up. So the outcome, you are in this, when I say mental clarity is an understatement. You're literally like Neo in the Matrix. You know what I mean? Like at this point now, you have mind-numbingly clear precision as it pertains to your thought processes. You're not beating yourself up anymore. And for some of you, this is something that has lasted for a while. This is a cycle that has potentially been going on for you for upwards of 2-3 years. So you might have been beating yourself up because you weren't able to understand why it is a certain situation happened a certain way, or why you had to go through X, Y, Z, and this, that, and the third. And you finally understand exactly that path to understanding your past and the path to understanding where you're going was illuminated at one time. Not by accident, but because you made a concerted effort to understand what it is that you have been experiencing and what you are likely to experience. Because of that, you move into an energy where now you're able to interact with your environment with a sense of clarity and precision when it comes to understanding. You are focused, and you are also content with the efforts that you've been putting out. And as a result, you have mental sharpness that you literally have not seen in a while, and it's opening the door for you to be able to traverse your environment, traverse different relationships and different situations with a confidence and with a sense of calm that you haven't really felt in a while. So I'm really happy to hear that, Libra. You deserve it, quite frankly. I know a lot of Libra placements personally in my life have been going through some really interesting experiences. And so seeing everyone on their own and also together come together and realize what patterns were taking place and why certain things had to happen. It's a beautiful thing when people are able to distill the lessons from their experiences, because sometimes we don't get the opportunity, or sometimes it takes us a while to get there, All right, so what advice do we have for Libra? I'm going to pull some oracle cards from the Keepers of the Light oracle deck, just so we can get some advice going into the week. Hopefully this has been helpful for you, and hopefully it resonated. All right, so what advice do... Ooh, okay, I'll take it. We have Mahavatar Babaji, which is soul expansion. Your consciousness is expanding. See? You understand the connections between all things. So you understand what's going on. Your mind is illuminated. You are finally walking in this space of clarity and inhabiting this mental and physical and spiritual space of clarity. You also have charity, prayer, and contemplation. Connect with heaven, ask, and you shall receive. So because of this clarity, you're finally in a position where you are able to manifest and to bring about changes in your material environment with efficiency, with precision, and with clarity, right? And it's also because you are in a very high vibrational, caring, compassionate energy as well. You have empathy and compassion that most likely was built through observing and learning some pretty hard truths, but you're better for it. So that's really beautiful. And you likely, we have 2 more cards. Thank you. We have faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm. Trust the good in yourself and others. See the light in the world. Right? So you're kind of getting your faith and humanity back. You're able to look upon the happenings of others not through the eyes of a misanthropic curmudgeon, but through the eyes of someone who understands and has seen and wants the best not only for yourself, but for others. You are a genuinely good person. That much I can sense, and that is coming back to you tenfold. So maintain your faith. And lastly, we have Mercury, open communication. Get a weight off your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. Some of you might need to do a little bit of reading up on certain communication skills. This is so random, but you might have like emotionally immature parents. Like both of my parents are mercurial. And it took a lot of patience and research to understand why in observation as well as contemplation, like why it is, these people act like this, like what drives people to conduct themselves in certain ways, especially if those ways are ones that we perceive as unsavory. And so communication is really a big key in being able to understand and maintain a sense of understanding and unblocking roads of confusion in the mind, especially as it pertains to relationships between individuals. So with that being said, Libra, very proud of you. Beautiful journey, beautiful succession, and you're going through this period of ascension. Enjoy it. You deserve it. I am proud of you. Thank you for stopping by. I will talk to you soon. Bye.